some whittling. I haven't done it for a while, so I thought, why not just come live and do it, right? So this is what I made last night. It was a little Santa Claus dude. I'm gonna make another one. Um, don't know if a bunch of you guys. I went on Facebook in our whittling groups and asked how in the world to cut the squares corner to corner, and people came up with all kinds of ideas. So I I use the baton method because, well, I don't have a bandsaw that works. So, and everybody kept saying, use a bandsaw, use a bandsaw. Well, that's easier said than done when you don't have one. So, I'm going to go ahead and get this little dude drawn out here. Go ahead and turn my light on so that there's some extra light on it. There we go. Now we can see better. Okay. I think this was the piece. I got quite a few pieces here. I just didn't know which piece to use. I think I'm going to use this one. Right? Yeah. Okay. See, like I was saying, it didn't work so well to cut them so straight sometimes. But that's okay. They don't have to be completely straight. Okay, so we're going to attempt to do another ball over here. This one had a ball and I cut it off. So we're going to attempt that again. So there's the ball. Okay, and then we want kind of a... I don't go with the straight line. I kind of go with the wavy line because I kind of like it better. I don't have to be completely straight on it then. That's going to be his hat. There's going to be a thing here. And then I'll just kind of come down this way. And come from maybe here on down. Oops, we can't go all the way, I guess, because we got to have a band here. So let's go make a band here. Right there. Okay, and there's his hat. Somewhat. Okay. And then we got to draw on his nose because he's got a little pudgy nose. Which I'm good at doing them ones. So that's what I stick with is the pudgy noses. And breaking my lead on my pen. I don't measure anything. I just kind of eyeball it. Right like that. Then got his little mustache. I make his mustache come out from his nose. And then it comes down here. And comes this way. Comes this way. Comes this way. We have his eyes and his cheeks in there. And then the rest of this is going to be his beard. And it's going to kind of go off to the side there. So that's kind of what we're doing. Kind of looks like a Santa. Maybe-ish. I don't know. Okay. So, I'm just going to start by taking some of this stuff off on the sides here. And no, I am not the best whittler, so I don't know. Really, what I'm doing, I just kind of do it, and if it works out, it works out. Okay, so I got that side done. Simple. Okay, so then I'm going to come this way, and this way. Just making a few stop cuts here. Going up to the stop cuts. Trying not to cut off the ball this time. Last time, that's exactly what I went right through it. I totally missed my stop cut. So this time I'm going to take smaller cuts so I don't do that. There we go. Okay, I like that. Kind of looks cool. Okay. So, then I'm going to work on just the hat part up here. I kind of like to work my way from the top down. I don't know why. I guess part of my OCD. I don't like to start in the middle and work my way out because I get lost. So, I do somewhat cheat here. Let me find what I'm looking for. I think it's this one. I do use my V-gouge, like it's a tiny little V-gouge. I don't know if you can see that. But that's what I use to get my lines started in here. just for the fact that it makes it a little bit easier, it seems like. It's hard for me to stay in frame there. Okay, there we go. Got it drawn in. I'm just going to take my knife and gonna make another stop cut here. Right, and we're gonna come down to it. Right there. Ta-da! Okay. Grab a smaller knife because I'm better with the smaller one. They're kind of both the same knife. Just one's got a smaller blade on it. Or shorter blade. And then I'm just gonna come in and rough cut that. Just so it sticks out a little bit better, so I can see it a little bit better. I'm going to come down this way a little bit, because I do want the brim to stick out a little bit more. Make another stock cut, and come down into it. And I probably got some of you guys, your professional ones watching me going, what in the world are you doing? It's the only way I know how to do it, so that's what I do. Take that pokey off of there, because he doesn't need a pokey hat. Okay, now let's do this side. I'm going to come in a little bit with the hat. See? Kind of offsets it just a bit. Okay. And go there. Bring this one down just a bit more here. And just whittle away at it. And you kind of want his hat to go that way, so I'm going to take quite a bit off the top part here. See how it kind of that way then? Kind of like that. Okay, so I'm going to take this part and go right there. And come back up here. I'm going to come right around. Right like that. Makes that part stand out. Okay, and then we're going to kind of shape this into a circle. Get rid of the corners here. Get rid of this corner. And a little edge there. And try to be delicate. I'm not really good at delicate. Okay. Now I'm gonna take this down just a bit more so it's not so bulky. I do want this part to be flatter here. I want it to come over just a bit more there. I don't like how it's not quite over enough for me. There we go. Got kind of a pointy there. There we go. Kind of like that. Okay. smaller knife might work better for that. Not sure. Okay, I am going to make a little bit of a V here, just to separate this out a little bit here, without cutting through it, hopefully. Kind of separate the hat from the ball. If I can get that to come out of there. There we go. Got that chunk to come out. And that's what I'm doing there. And it's kind of come like that, and then I can make this look more like a ball. Okay, and then we are going to put a little crease in his hat here too. Right like that. See? He's got a big old ball on there. I don't know if I like the big ball, but we shall see. Whoop. It's hard to hold on to with my gloves. Yep, there went the ball. Happens every time. Oh well. We'll just make his hat work. Alright, we'll just make this work with a hat. This hat will have this little crease in it, where it just lays over. There we go. And that happens. Sometimes you just lose parts of it, which is totally fine. Just keep going. Just my brush there to clean up some of my boogers. Clean up my edge here that broke. Okay. Now we're going to work on the bottom of the brim. Just kind of follow our line there. It's okay, that part broke off. Again, gonna undercut it. Where it's a wonky shape, I just kind of undercut just to get the shape. I don't know what else to do there. Just can't really go in with your knife being straight because you won't get that wonkiness to it. Get his nose in there. Okay, let's do this side. And I don't follow my lines exactly. I get pretty darn close, but not exact. And undercut again. Let's take that piece out. Well, maybe. Something's not releasing there. There we go. That little booger piece right there. Did not want to let go. There we go. So there's his pretty much hat is done. So now we need to make this nose work. So I'm just going to come plunge cut, and plunge cut, and do stop cut. I think I need to move this a little bit closer to myself so you guys can see what I'm doing, because I'm trying to get it close so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to keep losing you guys off camera here. Okay. So here, I'm just going to go up to my stop cut there. Boom. See, now he's got a nose. Now to make my sides here, I'm going to come around. Be mindful of where the edge of my knife is. Or the tip of my knife, I guess, is what you call it. Go right there. Right there. And pull that out of there. Okay. Something right like that. See, now it's starting to stick out there. Time to do this side. Come in here. Be mindful of where the tip is. And go through. And this side isn't quite as deep as the other, so I want it to be. So I'm going to come on in right there. Ta-da. There's his nose. You see that? I know. You guys are looking at it going, wait a sec. He has a square nose, and the other one was rounded. I'll show you guys. I round these things. That's the way my brain works. Start with the square, and I can always make it round. And I'm going to go ahead and get this mustache part put in here too. Right there. And turn and go right there. That way I have them in there so I know where I'm going from there. Because these are going to be his cheeks and his eyes and stuff. So I'm going to come in this way. Get his cheeks put in there. He's got little chubby cheeks. His cheeks are going to come up underneath his hat. Also, because they need to. And then take the sharp edges off. And just round them off here. Okay, now see, this one goes down a little bit more than the other side. None of my sides ever match. One side's always droopier than the other, but that's fine. We can fix that. Just go this way. See, need to come up to right about his nose here. That's there we go. Got that cheek in there. Just make a couple fine cuts. Come in and get rid of this part of it. Can make it rounded a little bit there. See, yeah, he's a little off, but that's fine. We can fix that. Ish. Okay. Get rid of that booger there. Okay. So let's work on getting his nose shaped here. We're going to come, cut this corner off. We're going to turn it, we're going to cut this corner off. There. And cut. Kind of looking roundish. We're going to come and cut this corner up to the middle here. And then take it right there. Let's see with this one. We're going to take and just come this way. With it almost all the way to the middle. And then just plunge cut and get that out of there. Ta-da. Okay, now we're going to shape this just a bit here. Get it to go back there a little bit. We're going to run this tip part here a little bit. Like I said, y'all, I'm not a professional. But I just keep trying. Try to get boogers off so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, now I'm going to take and I'm going to come down to my stop cut here to make his cheekies. So his cheeks kind of go behind his mustache there. Okay, now to make eyes, I go here. Go right next to the nose. And I just kind of gouge them out. And there's his eye. Or at least the socket of it. It kind of ends up looking like an eye when it's all done. Okay. Right like that. Okay, and then we're going to come in a little bit more at an angle here. Kind of want him to have some chunky cheeks, because Santa has chunky cheeks. There we go. And bring them back here a little bit more. Okay, let's do this side here. Look at that, he's starting to even up now. Okay. So, again, we're going to do the eyes. We're going to go this way. Plunge cut. And this way. Plunge cut. And take our knives and just zoop, dig that out. I'm going to come back up this way just a little bit more so that it's kind of curved more for his face there. And we're going to come in a little bit more of an angle here. And there we go. We got some chunky cheeks. Okay, now time for the stash. First things first, let's get rid of the pokey. Pokey has to come off. My nose itches. Hold on, guys. Okay. So I'm going to take my knife, come down with the stash that way. Same with on this side. Plunge it in. I just kind of let my knife do its job. Whatever it decides it wants to cut, it cuts. Okay. Right like that. Okay, then I'm going to, once again, back cut this. I don't know what this is actually called, but that's what I call it. I back cut it. So I want his mustache to stand out from his beard. So that's what I make it do. See, now his mustache sticks out. So now for his beard, I kind of want it to go off to the side here, so I'm just going to kind of draw it in here. I'm going to go shoop, and I'm going to go zoop. Well, I don't know. Maybe more this way. Zoop and zoop. Something like that. I don't know. Looks good to me. We're going to start taking off our corners and grab my flex cut. It does a better job at cutting here. I'm just kind of roughing it in here. There we go. Beard kind of goes that way. That's good. Make his mustache stand out a little bit more on this one than I did the other one, maybe. I don't know. Why not? It's figment of our own imagination here. For this one, we're just gonna come in here, remove that. I'm just gonna kind of curve it here. See, kind of got a wonky little beard there, which is what I wanted. I wanted a wonky beard. I don't want it straight. I don't like the straight beards. I don't know. I'm just weird that way, I guess. Kind of like it where it curves in a little bit. There we go. I kind of like that. Right like that. And his beard's a little bit heavy on this side, but we can fix that. Make a few shortcuts there. So that this side of his stash hangs off like the other side does. There we go. Right like that. There's probably a more technical way to do that than what I just did, but it works for me. There we go. Then if I want his stash to stand out even more, we can just remove some more. Alrighty. Right like that. I'm going to take my brush. Try to brush all the boogers off. It might not work. It might. There we go. Had one that was hanging in there for dear life. Like that. Now he does need a little bit of a mouth, so we need to get that in there. So for that, I plunge this way. I plunge this way. And then I just take my knife and go back in. There's his mouth. Now I do tend to come in and make a little V here to kind of separate out that stash a little bit, because who has a straight stash like that? Nobody does. See? Got a little peak in there, which is what he needs. Now I'm just going to go through and clean it up a little bit, get some more of the brim showing here on his hat. His brim's kind of narrow there. Kind of want it the same all the way around. Okay. Right like that. Now I don't like all the sharp edges, so I do go in and I do round the edges. For that, I just hold my knife at an angle. Whoops, we forgot to take off front of that hat. We don't want a pokey hat like that. Let's go ahead and get that off there. And take a little bit more of this back so it stands out there. There we go. Okay. Just kind of hold my knife at an angle and go right around the edges and just scrape them off. Right like that. Do the same thing to the underside here. Just hold your knife at an angle. Scrape them edges off. And you can always round this up too if you want to, so it's not so pokey. We don't like pokies. I like things to be nice and rounded. It makes it just look better. Here we go, right like that. Take my knife here. And just round right there also. We're going to take and round up the hat on this side. Like we did the other side. Just get rid of the pokies. Right like that. Okay. So for the most part, his hat is done. I'm going to come in here and get rid of some of these fuzzy flyaways. I don't know why I get them all the time, but I do. I think it's just the way that I cut. Much better. Okay. I'm going to take that point off that nose there. Okay. Now let's round this mustache here. Come in like that. Come to this side. Take this point off here. Because I do want to leave the very bottom point on, but I do want to kind of round that a little bit better here. If it comes off like that, it comes off like that. That's fine. Does not hurt my feelings at all. Still looks really good. And I'm going to move a little bit more of the beard there, just so that it sticks out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Get right up on the edge there. There we go. I like that. Remove the hair part there. Alright. Let's do the other side. So we just angle our knives and take the edge off. I have to figure out how I'm going to get this one. It's a little backwards to me, but I can get it. There we go. There. Okay, we're gonna go that way. There we go. And move a little bit of the beard there so it does hide behind the mustache. There we go. Got my line good and tight there. Oops. Come out of there. There. There we go. We have a Santa. Quick and easy. That's one thing I like about these. They are pretty quick. And you can always go back in and redefine things here. I think I fixed that little corner on his cheek there. And there we go. Now another thing I like to do is I like to go to the back side of it. And I like to round the back side. I don't like it to be sharp here either. So I do round the back side off a little bit too. Because if you leave it sharp, then it feels horrible when you're touching it. I don't want it to feel bad when people are touching my stuff. I want it to feel nice in their hands. So just kind of round all the backside off. And I always leave a little bit up here of the raw so that I can put a hook in there so it can make an ornament. There we go. We got all of that part done. Now comes the fun part. I take this uber tiny V-gouge, right? And we're going to make hair. We're just going to go. I just randomly go wherever my gouge wants to go. Kind of let it dig how it wants to. Everything else just to make the hairs to the beard. Always make sure to get up here by the front part or top part of it too, because we got hairs up there too, you know. So if I see a spot that doesn't have hair, I put it in there. Gotta have hair right at the tip, right? Right there. We're gonna have some hair there. We need a piece right there. And kind of make it go whichever direction I want it to. Yep. And this is how that works. Here we go. Got his little beard hairs in there. Now we got to do the mustache hairs. Now for this, I do push a lot lighter. And I just kind of still use the little tiny gouge, but I make a lighter pass so that they're not quite as predominant. Just kind of go in the way that the mustache would grow. Right like that. And then he has hairs. Then if you really wanted to, you could go in. I've done it with this gouge before. Just kind of gouge out where his eyes are. And I just take and punch cut that. Gives him a little eyeball area there. But I use my bigger gouge for that. Or it's a V tool that I'm using because my round tools are downstairs. I don't want to go get them. So I'll just use my V tool. There we go. Guess what? Santa is done. The only thing left to do then after this, just take your sandpaper and just lightly sand them, which I'm not going to do while I'm on film because that's a horrible sound to listen to. But you go through, you sand all your little joints and everything else. Get them rounded off nice and smooth. Get some of the boogers off of it and everything. And then it goes off to paint. So yeah, even though they're the same Santa, they kind of look different. They're all going to be a little bit different. So anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Thanks for joining me today. And I'll see you later.